Imagine filming a deck profile twice just to cater to the 3 English players who actually can understand your stupid Asian accent. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm N4 here. Today I am back to talk about another D deck profile. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a D deck profile, and frankly this video has been delayed because I was waiting for the English version of this card to be announced so I could put a more accurate thumbnail. Today I have Transrorter, or as the English will now know him as Sky-Severing Demonic Blade Altar Slaughter. Yeah, I have an English version of the card printed next to my camera. I don't know what this name is supposed to be about. What is an altar slaughter? Why is it an altar slaughter? Where is the altar? I don't know, but okay, today this is basically the deck. Altar Slaughter Transrorter is basically about this really funky gimmick deck when you Soul Blast 6 grade zeros in order to achieve plus 60k to the whole board. So it's kind of really stupid, although it's only a 3 attack deck because you don't own Rock Arger, who is about 2,000 yen at the point of this recording. Generally speaking, the rest of this deck this is a budget deck, by the way, so you will see base rare triggers and everything. But other than that, the frame, the general idea of this deck is still there. There is actually dedicated support for Altar Slaughter Transrorter, so you will get to see all of them today. My right deck consists of 1 grade 0, 1 copy of this guy, 1 copy of Richard, and then we have Transrorter. So I actually got an FFR of this guy from my WGP over the last week or two, but I sold it off because I needed the money to build this deck. So there's your answer. Yes, I actually played in a WGP recently again. So of course, just a starter, this is the Desired Devil Tabitha, I believe. And then moving on to grade 1 is Deep Sonica. Deep Sonica is a very simple card. It's just when he's placed on the Vanguard circle, you just soul charge 1. Yeah, he's on the Borrow Magnes one, and then of course my grade 2 is Richard. Richard's skill is when placed on the Vanguard circle, move one of your rear guards to the soul, and then you get to draw 1 card. So you may be wondering, because I'm not playing Steve, what am I actually moving to the soul? Well, you will actually see later in the deck. I'll explain to you how this works. It's very specific, so you need to actually stay till the end of this video, then you'll actually get to see what Richard does. And of course, my grade 3 is Transrorter Altar Slaughter. His skill is just Soul Blast 6 grade zeros, you Soul Charge 6, and 6 0 units gain 10. Yeah, the Soul Charge 6 is mandatory, so you have estimated 2 turns to actually kill the opponent. If not, you will deck out. I've tested this deck against multiple opponents, and it's quite painful. Frankly, if you want to play this deck at a competitive level, yes, I said competitive level, you will need Rock Arger. But other than that, I think it's still pretty okay if you have, say, I don't know. I built this deck in less than 1,000 yen-ish, so I believe you can do, very, very frankly. And I even had some of my older spares from my other decks, so I managed to actually bling out this deck a bit. But realistically speaking, if you build this at a base rarity, I believe within 1,500 yen, you should have no issues. My grade 3s, I run 3 copies of Altar Slaughter in the main deck and 1 in the right deck. And then after that, for the other grade 3s, I run this guy. Yeah, so they are both from DBT07, so you can actually pick them up from the same set. What do they do? Transrorter is obviously just for the persona, right? You are already accumulating large amounts of numbers, you might as well accumulate more. This guy is really good though. It's an X skill, Counter Blast 1, you move into the soul, look at the top 2 cards in your deck, put one of them into the soul, and then after that, you superior call the other. Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, it helps you build soul-specific grades. You can play this in so many Dark States budget decks. You can play this in Baphomet, you can play this in Favre Neo, you can play this in Transrorter, you can play this in, I don't know, the other guy. It's pretty good, to be honest. I would say pick this up as a CNR for sure if you're planning to play Dark States with more interesting, unique bosses. Just don't play this in Jet. Jet's our meta. Jet has Balif. Moving on to our grade 2s, I play 1 Richard for the right deck. Then I play 4 copies of Salvage Engraver because I really, really like her art. And then I play 4 copies of this guy. I'm sorry, it's a girl. There's a lot of girls in this deck. So what does it do? Deck wise, it's actually really simple. You know what Selfish Engraver does by now. She's all the way from set 1, but if you don't know, when her attack hits, you basically soul charge 1, and at the end of the bell that she attacks, if your soul is 10 or more cards, you slide her into the soul, counter charge 1. You mainly just use her for the on-hit soul charge and the occasional counter charge, but I use her because I find her absolutely beautiful. And then of course you have this girl. Her skill is very interesting. When placed card last 1, choose a grade 0 card from your hand and move into the soul. Choose a grade 1 or higher card from your soul and put it into your hand. So basically you add a +1 grade 0 to your soul, and then in addition you get to toolbox your entire soul for something back, which have a lot of cards to actually tutor out, so that's pretty nice. Moving on to our grade 1s, I play 1 copy of Deep Sonica for the right deck. Then we play 4 copies of Friend of the Underworld Ling, which I do actually own a holo of. So yes, that cost me a lot of money. And then I play 4 copies of Inhale Pit and then 4 Perfect Guards. So yes, as I told you just now, this is a budget deck, so budget PGs. You generally just need some Perfect Guards. Inhale Pit is a very interesting card. Soul Blast, 1 grade 1 or higher card. And then after that, you choose 2 grade 0 cards from your drop zone and put it into your soul. Very good for Transrorter. This is the main engine for Transrorter, so call this out as early as possible if you can trigger the skill. It's also pretty good as a one-off in Chaos. I actually fought a Chaos recently and they used this card as well. Yeah, I was personally quite shocked. And then last but not least, we have Friend of the Underworld Ling. If you're playing Drajul, Fafnir, Baphometis or Transrorter, or hell, Chronojet, you may end up needing this card quite a lot. When placed, you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose 1 card from among them, put it into the soul, put the rest at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, nice art. I can see why a lot of people like the art. I mean, I bought a holo of it, so. And then, of course, my grade 1. My grade 0s, I play 1 copy of the Dita in the right deck. 1 over trigger. You can play the Galmagate, but yeah, there is a budget version of Galmagate from the Chronojet Strike deck set. I just ran out of money to buy it. Frankly, you could play it. I play for heal. I play 7 crit because yeah, you actually do need some 4 draws in this deck. And then last but not least, I actually play 3 copies of Dita in the right deck. So you may be wondering, why am I doing that? Why am I playing this 3 extra starters in the main deck? Is because, like I mentioned just now, with Transrorter, you need grade 0s in the soul. You generally just keep an account of, I think this is 20? Yeah, this is 20 grade 0s in the whole entire deck, which is enough to keep you running to actually reliably hit your multiple grade 0s. The hardest Transrorter effect is always the first effect, to actually make sure that you have 6 grade 0s by your turn 3. Now, anything else after that generally is so much easier because you've already built up a game state and you're already pushing. So do try your best to actually look for, you know, some extra starters and just throw them in your deck. I guarantee you it's quite worth the time. Yeah, and that is actually it for my Transrorter Alter Slaughter deck profile. The deck is demonically simple, despite the fact that his name is Sky Severing Demonic Blade Alter Slaughter in English. And there are multiple decks posted already, at least from what I've seen. Various people have posted various lists of Transrorter online, and it's actually quite interesting to see how they build it. They put a lot of weird tech in it. Some of them build lists just by theory crafting, and frankly they're not very good. But some have tested this list, and I actually got these ideas from scrolling through some lists some of my friends posted on Twitter, which suggested actually playing multiple copies of the starter, and I'm surprised it actually works. So silly budget bosses like these that do actually get a few cards of good support are actually worth looking into, especially for more fun and casual play. I know D series is definitely not the embodiment of fun or casual play at all, thanks to Ebisu, Jet, and Youthberg. Yeah, but I mean, if you still want something fun to play, this is the thing for you. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.